Welcome to this video where we're going to be exploring 10 ways to embody and ground your spiritual growth journey. Now, we've been talking about raising your vibration, and it's so important that you really understand how to set good foundations on this journey, right? We want to grow spiritually. We want to expand consciousness. We want to have these beautiful, blissful experiences of love and joy and peace. But if you were going to build a 100-story tower, a tower that goes all the way up into the heavens, that tower is going to need a strong foundation. You're going to need some really good base down there to be able to sustain that. Otherwise, it's all going to just topple. So in this video, I want to give you the tips, the strategies, the tools, the stuff that I really wish I understood at the beginning of my journey so that you can really excel and so that you can travel up quite quickly. Not too quickly, but quite quickly. So let's jump into this. Now, before I mention all the things on this list, I just want to open up the idea of the chakra system. Now, immediately when I say that, I hear a lot of hairs standing up on the backs of necks. And I don't blame you for that because I was very much in that rational mindset myself and I was just wrote off all that esoteric Eastern stuff. But let's just pretend, if you don't believe that chakras exist, let's just pretend that they do for the purposes of this video. So a common experience, again, for people who are growing spiritually is that they want to jump up to the higher chakras. The higher energy centers, that's what a chakra is. It's an energy center. And it's very common for people in the spiritual growth path to want to jump straight into the heart, jump straight into the third eye, and start getting crazy visions and psychedelic things and clairvoyance and telepathy and all that amazing stuff. Or the crown chakra, which is all about receiving divine inspiration and wisdom. But the problem with that, if you just want to jump straight up there, is that it's very easy to get sucked in to illusion, to more illusion, the stuff that we're really just wanting to become more aware of and not get led along by it anymore. So the way that we can set that foundation is we want to start to really heal these lower chakras, everything down from the solar plexus, which sits here, down to the sacral, which is in your genital region, in your pelvis, and then the root chakra, which is right at the bottom of your spine. These three chakras are all about survival, right? The stuff that we want to transcend. We don't want to be dealing with that survival stuff. It's just so basic and three-dimensional. But we really do need to deal with it, and we really need to strengthen it in order to be able to grow up to these higher levels and access the power of the heart, the throat, expression, the third eye, clear vision, and the crown. So with that being said, let's jump in. Now the first way that you can start to ground and embody this growth that is happening as you move up the spiral, as you move up the scale of consciousness, is you want to be very aware that you're pacing yourself, right? You want to give yourself time and don't just throw your entire life into this journey of raising your vibration. You want to just take it a bit at a time. Now, I'm saying this because I'm the kind of person who really loves to dive in. And I'm sure there's plenty of you watching this who that's your personality. You might discover yoga. You might discover veganism. You might discover meditation or any kind of spiritual path or practice. But the thing is, if you throw yourself into it completely without giving yourself that time to kind of acclimatize and gradually become the person who experiences these things, then there's a little thing that happens called ego backlash. And this is basically where this little ego part of ourselves is like, this is too much. This is too fast. I can't handle this. This doesn't actually fit with the identity that I've had for my entire life. And so what can happen is it can fully sabotage us. We dive into our new yoga routine, we're diving into understanding, we're doing research, we're meditating, getting out into nature. But if we go too fast with this and don't give the rest of our life time, if we don't set that container to really embody this, it's going to create problems and it's going to end up with you going back to the start or even lower, in terms of how you feel. So pace yourself. You can't rush your healing. That's another thing that came to me earlier this year, actually. I was really diving into healing some unresolved stuff, let's call it. And I started getting to the point where I felt like I just needed to fix it. I needed to fix it, I needed to heal myself before I could be happy. And that's what we often do on this journey is we tell ourselves, okay, now I know how to be happy. I need to raise my vibration. And we tell ourselves a story that I can't actually be happy until I've raised my vibration, until I'm up here on the scale, right? Well, no, that's bullshit. So pace yourself, allow yourself to go through the process and just let go of the need to rush. You can be happy right now. So the second way to ground and embody your spiritual growth is to develop whole body awareness. So again, the lower three energy centers are all about the body. They're all about sex. They're about food. They're about money, power, survival. And it's so common for us to shun this stuff because we say, oh, that's of the ego. That's not what I want. I don't need money. I don't need sex, or I don't need to develop my own inner power. I don't need to develop my own boundaries. No, that's all just the basic 3D earth stuff, right? We want to ascend into the heavens. Well, actually, this is going to expand your awareness in itself, whole body awareness. So we're getting away from the notion that spirituality is up here and we're bringing it down into our physical body, because that's where the magic happens. That's what allows consciousness, infinite source consciousness, to have this amazing experience that it's having right now through you. So by developing your body awareness, we're talking about starting to feel your body, starting to just drop into your body. A lot of us live up here or up here, but by developing that awareness, we're just getting familiar with how our own body feels. A lot of us reject our body or wish we had a different body, and that can create some dissociation. So we want to associate back and feel our body and get comfortable in our body. And that's going to create some amazing foundation for us to just shoot up. Now, ways that you can do this, we're looking at full body exercise. So if you're mad into yoga and stretching, maybe Pilates and that sort of stuff, that's amazing for your flexibility. That's amazing for circulating chi and prana throughout your entire body. But again, we want to look at this as a kind of balanced approach. We don't just want to put all of our eggs into stretching and just breathing, because we might not have very much strength. We want to develop our strength as well as our flexibility. We want to develop our fitness, our heart health. So maybe it means doing some more cardio exercise. And we want to develop our balance and our flow. So bringing in different things like dance and yoga. Making all of this work together in a holistic way so that our body awareness is very, very present and very sharp and clear. So other things you can do to develop body awareness is just simply lying in bed and just doing a scan up and down your body. You can do that for 5 minutes in a day, and you can start to really feel what's happening in your body. You can start feeling where there's blocks or there's pain. We tend to push that stuff down and kind of gloss over it. But if you're not aware of your body, there's a good chance you're holding a lot of tension, a lot of unconscious tension. So this is really going to help you drop into your body for this journey of raising your vibration. The third way To ground and embody your gains, your growth, to make sure that you're not getting carried away up into la-la land without being present here on the physical earth, which is equally important, is you want to make sure that you feel safe and secure, right? And this one point is one of the things that so many people use spiritual growth as a way of escape, as a way of spiritual bypassing, which has become a very popular term. Because if we don't feel safe in our body, if we don't feel safe in our physical environment with the people that we're around, it's only natural that you want to escape. I mean, you might want to go and take drugs or join a gang or do some other kind of crazy thing, but a lot of people just take spirituality as their drug, as their escape. So that's just going to come back and bite you on the ass. We want to make sure that this is really, really good and solid and taken care of. So beginning to understand your home environment and really just feeling into, do I feel safe here? Do the people that I live with make me feel loved and cared for? They don't make you feel anything, but do I feel safe with them? Do I feel secure in my physical space, my physical environment? Or am I constantly on a bit of an adrenaline rush? You want to really dial into that stuff. We're talking about even financial matters. We're going to touch on money a little bit lower down here, but making sure that all of the things in your life, the most basic necessities are taken care of, right? You're feeling comfortable, you're feeling like you can grow. That's really what this is all about. So start to look at, do I feel safe in any area of my life, or am I feeling a little bit threatened, or, like this just isn't fitting with me anymore? And move yourself into that place of safety, however you need to do that. The next point of grounding and embodying your spiritual gains is, this is really, really foundational stuff again. So what I've covered here is really root chakra stuff, whole body awareness, safety and security, family. What's your relationship like with your family? Again, this is so foundational. Not many people understand that the life you're living today is actually driven by the need to fill perceived gaps from your childhood. See, we all grow up in different situations where we feel like we've missed out on certain things, or we feel like we didn't get what we needed at a certain point in our developmental journey. And so because we haven't finished that pattern, it comes back and emerges later down the track. And a lot of this stuff is to do with family. So if we're just trying to jet up and grow without actually having healed some of these family relationships, we're talking about mother wound and father wound, very, very primary stuff that I'll jump into in another video. But you want to just begin by looking at your relationship and your connection with your mother and your father, and maybe any other significant family members that have played a big part in your life. Because any unhealed wounds around your mother or father end up getting projected out onto the world. So authority, if you've got problems with authority, there's a very good chance that's to do with your mother or your father. If you've got issues with receiving nurturance and love, that's a good indication of some kind of unhealed stuff with your mother. Just start to dial this in and heal those relationships. Work on those very important foundational relationships. If you don't speak to your family anymore and you've got no intention of doing it, just work on forgiveness. Well, actually, don't work on it, just do it. Just forgive your family. Find those places where you're feeling that tension or that like, this isn't right, and begin to open that up and heal it. The fifth way to ground and embody your spiritual gains. How do we make sure that we're solid in ourselves, that we're safe, secure, so that tree can just grow up into the heavens? We want to start to look at our relationship with pleasure and with sex, okay? Back to the body stuff, back to the most foundational parts of what it means to be human. Pleasure and sex is really associated with your sacral chakra, so the second chakra moving up. And this is a part of, again, spirituality that often gets treated in one of two ways. Either it's over the top and obsessive, or it's puritanism and shutting all of it out. But what we're doing here is we're developing an integrated spirituality. We're integrating all of these different parts of our humanity, all of these different parts of our ego which need to be expressed and developed in order to transcend them. Pleasure and sexuality. So begin to ask yourself on this journey, and with all of these points throughout your journey, just refer back to this list. How do I feel about pleasure? Do I allow myself to feel good? Do I allow myself to have comfortable clothing? Do I allow myself to have a bath once in a while? Do I allow myself to have a massage once in a while? How do I feel about sex? Am I going over the top with it? Or am I hiding from it? Trying to minimize it and push it away as something 3D and just kind of not important? Ask yourself, how do I approach these subjects? If there's any resistance or tension, or there's any minimizing going on, that's a good indication that this is out of balance for you. So begin to look at, how can I balance my relationship with pleasure, enjoy healthy pleasure, allow myself to feel good? This is so, so important for embodying and grounding all of this growth that you're going to get into your physical experience. The next point is responsibility, right? This is such a big one. And again, back to the spiritual bypassing. A lot of us on our journey of growth tend to minimize different aspects of our life and take no responsibility for them. Here's some news. If you want to grow, if you want to really experience pure unconditional love, you can't blame. You can't do any more blaming. I mean, you can, but you got to honestly look at it and realize that you're projecting your own power out onto someone else, and that is only going to victimize you. So anything that's happened in your life, and I say this with full love, I say this with full respect for all the kinds of things that people have experienced in their lives, anything that's happened in your life that you're not taking responsibility for, that's going to fester, and it's going to create problems for you further down the track as you grow more. So better to sort this out at the start. Where are you not taking responsibility in your life? Are you letting yourself down in money? Are you neglecting that? Are you letting yourself down in important relationships, not taking responsibility and blaming the other person for hurting you, or being controlling when it's your responsibility to remove yourself from the situation or deal with that? So just getting into that frame of mind that you're here in this physical plane, you have to take responsibility for the foundational aspects of your life in order to grow. Not blaming, letting go of that, and bringing it back to your own power. Solar plexus stuff we're talking about here in terms of chakras. The next point to ground and embody your spiritual gains, your growth, is we really want to develop our goals and our purpose, okay? This is very much, again, solar plexus level stuff, or if you're into spiral dynamics, we're talking about the orange stage of evolution of the psyche. So having goals and purpose is what really enables you to keep this growth journey moving along nicely and keep it within the framework of this physical reality. So you want to be really clear on, what am I actually here for? In a very physical sense, what am I doing on this earth? You may get caught up in that trap of, I'm just here to ascend. I'm just here to shoot up into the heavens and get out of this illusion, this Maya, this 3D world. But having goals and responsibilities is really going to tether you in. It's going to really connect you in and ground you, so that as you're growing, all of this aspect of your life is going to be enhanced. Having a purpose. My purpose, or one of the purposes that I've set for myself, is to raise the consciousness of humanity. Right? It's just very simple, and it's actually quite a spiritual goal, if you want to call it that. but it's a clear goal and it gives me something that I can work on every single day. You want to have something that you can work on every single day, that you can move towards in this physical world while you're getting woke, while you're moving up that spiral, that scale. Find out what your purpose is. What are you amazing at? What do you absolutely love to do? And how can you match that with some kind of way of serving others? That's what we're talking about with purpose. The next one, truthful relations. So the next extremely powerful way to stay grounded on this journey, because there's a lot of distraction that can take place, there's a lot of spiritual ego that can start to happen as you're moving up higher, is you want to have some really honest friends who really can see your shit, who can see through all your bullshit, right? I've got some friends like that. In fact, I've got a very small group of friends. I don't have a whole lot of friends because, again, when you're moving up in this direction of expansion and love, you want to have people who can just call you out on your shit. You want to have people who can just go, you're getting carried away, man. You're getting carried away. Bring it back. You know, just be honest. Just be yourself. This one point, I think, is really one of the most powerful. I actually live with a good friend who we mirror each other. It's another thing that is really valuable about these intimate relationships, is that you begin to mirror each other. And by mirroring each other, what you're really doing is you're seeing yourself in the other person. So whatever you feel insecure about or you're repressing, any emotions that you tend to hide and repress, they're going to appear in that person that you're very close with. So that's actually a way for you to see, I'm getting triggered because they're expressing what I don't want to express, what I'm afraid of expressing. That's the value of having those truthful relationships, where you're not just together kind of talking crap and you're not just, going through the run-of-the-mill kind of conversations, but you're able to be honest about the times when this is really hard, the times when you feel like you're failing. Having someone who can just dial into that and open that space up with you and speak honestly with you is going to be hugely powerful. The next point is money. How do you feel about money? Right? That's one that we want to just, a lot of us, put over there in that money box. That's kind of evil, worldly stuff. I don't want to really taint myself with all that money stuff, right? Money is a representation of value. That's all it is. It's energy. And so if you find yourself as you're on your growth journey and you're raising your vibration, feeling a bit of a dissonance with money, that's time to really check in with your sense of self-worth. That's what money actually represents. So if you're rejecting money or you're just minimizing its importance, you want to look at, how much do I feel like I deserve to receive? Do I feel like I'm worthy to receive, pleasure, the things that money can buy, pleasure, security and safety, taking care of your body? All of this requires money to some extent. Moving through the physical plane requires us to have a relationship and a connection with money, a healthy connection. So use this as a barometer of, am I getting caught up? Am I getting trapped in the belief that money's bad somehow or that I don't deserve it? You want to just stay very aware of your relationship with money on this journey of growth. And the last one, number 10, is humor. Humor. Ha ha ha. Humor. What is your openness to just laughing at yourself, right? Laughing at life, laughing at this big game that we're all playing, because that's fundamentally what it is. It's a game, it's an experience. So I found myself, as I was moving through this journey, I found myself at times getting very serious and very rigid, because I'm like, I'm here, I need to evolve, I need to grow, it's all about growth, it's all about gains. But really, it's a game. It's a game. And the way to make sure that your ego is not getting caught up in identifying with spirituality and creating an identity out of that and minimizing the physical world or other aspects of life, is just remembering to have a good laugh. Remember that it's not serious. None of this is serious, but it is important. You don't need to take it seriously. You don't need to cling to it, right? That's what we're getting at when we talk about humor. So maintain a healthy, humorous relationship with all of this stuff. Take it lightly, but also take responsibility. Just don't be burdened by it. So those are 10 of the most powerful ways. There's actually a whole lot more that you can really start to embody your growth, bringing it into your life, being it. That's what we're talking about here. Not just thinking it or kind of imagining yourself to be growing on this path, but bring it back. Your physical life is the evidence that all of this is shifting. Your physical life is kind of like, these are the symptoms. If this is all looking really nice and healthy and balanced, you're moving up the scale, my friend. So use that as a barometer. Refer back to that often on your journey so that you don't get caught up in illusion and traps, and things will be great. So thank you for watching that video. I hope you got a ton of value from it. Hit the like button for me, share it with a friend. Peace, love, and namastizzle.